Should I even put an offer in? I'm going to talk about that today. Hey everyone, my name is Jamey Prezzi. I'm a real estate agent in Miami and Miami Beach. And today I'm going to answer a question that I get all the time from our frustrated buyers. And the question is it even worth putting in an offer? It is. But first, before I get started, if this is your first time here, hit the subscribe button so you never miss another update. I do put out new videos every week. Also, use the link in our information box and download our free guide today. If you have not downloaded that guide in some time, go ahead and do it today, and be sure to save the bookmark because I update it all the time as we get new information relevant to our market. Okay, let's get started. Many buyers today are a little bit frustrated because the market is moving so quickly and it can feel very competitive. But I can tell you that we do get our buyers' offers accepted all the time. We have closings every single month. We do work with a lot of buyers. A lot of our buyers are paying with financing. And so you do not have to be concerned about any of this stuff that you hear online, the chit chat, the negative talk all the time. There is a way that we can get your offer accepted. So let's talk about why you should go ahead and put in an offer and not worry about all the hearsay. Number one, the biggest reason why you should go ahead and put in an offer is because sometimes the listing agents are just talking about all of the offers they've received. Maybe the offers are not very good. I mean, if the property is still available and they are still showing it, you can assume that the seller has not seen an offer that they're happy with yet. So just assume that your offer could be the best. So definitely go ahead and put in an offer if the property is still available and the listing agents are still actively showing the property, because maybe they just haven't received an offer that is good enough for the seller yet. Next, another reason why you should go ahead and put in an offer is because sometimes some buyers just get really caught up in the process and they get really excited and they start making offers on properties. And I say properties because sometimes people do put in offers on more than one property. That's another discussion, but I would recommend to go ahead and put in an offer just because you never know what may happen. A lot can go on in between the time where a seller accepts an offer and a deposit needs to be made, and there's also contingencies like inspections and some other details. So don't just assume that it may not come out of contract. I mean, it may not, but always go ahead and just put in an offer, just, to see what will happen. Obviously, you want to make sure that you talk to your agent about the times and, the obligations if the offer could be accepted, but there is no reason why you shouldn't go ahead and put in an offer on a property that you're interested in. In today's market, many sellers who need to sell their properties are also concerned that they may not find another property after they sell it. So it is very common in today's market that buyers put in an offer contingent on selling another property. And sometimes they go under contract and they are not able to sell the other property, and that's a contingency that ends up falling through and then making a property available for future buyers. Very long and detailed discussion, but just know that buyers do sometimes get caught up in frenzies today. They make offers, they get under contract, and then they kind of panic because they're worried about selling their other property. And so sometimes the property comes back on the market because of that. Next, another reason why it's a good idea to go ahead and put in an offer is because the expectations of buyers and sellers are very different in today's market. If you are a buyer buying in a very hot market with very limited inventory and a lot of buyers, there is a good chance that when you go under contract and perform inspections, that things may come up on the inspection report and the sellers may not be willing to do repairs and they may not be willing to give credit. Our basic as-is contract allows you to do inspections, but doesn't really obligate the seller to do anything about those inspections. And buyers very often expect for sellers to either give credits or make repairs. And very often in today's market, where buyers are coming up as the highest and best offer and then actually going under contract, sometimes buyers do that with the expectation that they can negotiate the price down when they're under contract, or get some credits for closing costs or get some credits for repairs, whatever it is. A lot of times buyers go under contract at these higher prices with the idea that in some future point in time, they may be able to get credits or do something to get the price down again. But in today's market, many sellers are not offering credits during the inspection process. And so this can get buyers a little bit annoyed and they may cancel the contract, and then that may allow your offer to come into play. And where we are seeing this happen too is during the appraisal process, because a lot of buyers are going under contract on properties that are priced a little bit higher just to get into that property in today's market. And we are seeing more and more appraisal gaps, which means at some point, you know, if you're the buyer, you may need to come out of pocket with more money to close. And if you are the seller, in order to let that buyer close, you may need to reduce the price. Now, again, another point of negotiation, and will the buyer and seller be able to negotiate this point? And if they are not able to negotiate this point, it's a possibility that the buyer may cancel the contract, allowing other offers to come into play. So there are a lot more opportunities today for buyers because there's just a lot more different expectations in today's market than what happened in the past. And if buyers and sellers are not able to move forward in the same mentality of actually getting that transaction closed, that will allow another buyer to come into play. So in answer to, should I just go ahead and put in an offer just to see what happens, I would highly recommend that you do it. I think in today's market, there are a lot more opportunities for buyers than they even realize. And just know that there's a lot of strategy that goes into making offers in today's market. There is a lot of strategy whether you're a buyer or a seller, and you need to make sure that you are working with an experienced agent so they can guide you in this new market, because there is a lot to know and there is a lot to know moving forward in the process. And if you are getting advice from people who bought, 15 or 20 years ago, definitely make sure you're working with someone who knows what they're doing today, because things have changed a lot. There's a lot to know about buying real estate in our area. We're always here to be a resource for you, and we will see you soon.